Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and I am rolling a Yankees replay, 1992 Yankees replay. The games, as the score stands right now, in the top of the sixth inning is 4-3. We got the Yankees ace Melito Perez pitching against Kevin Tapani. It's Minnesota here in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. Both teams have 7 hits, no errors, and both teams have 3 left on base. So it's been a pretty tight game. Now the Yankees went down 4-1, and slowly they've crawled back. A run in the fourth and a run in the fifth has gotten them within 1 run. So it's 4-3 Minnesota. Perez is going to be facing Brian Harper, the catcher, a 300 hitter at that time. Chili Davis, not sure. Let's take a quick peek at Chili Davis and how he did in 92. He was a 288 hitter. So I know he's a batting hitter, a batting coach nowadays. I love when you got these guys that never batted more than 200 in the major leagues and they're batting coaches. I never understood that. Anyway, 270 for Munoz. So we're facing a 300 hitter, a 288 hitter, and a 270 hitter. Let's see what Melito Perez can do with these 3 hitters. Now I'm using iScore, as you can see. iScore is there. It's something I'm using. Hey there, Philip. How are you, brother? Go Twins. I'm using the Stealth Dice Roller. I'm using 2 different dice here, 20-sided dice I'm using Super Advanced, some aspects of Super Advanced, like base stealing and so on. And that's about it. So we're gonna get started. We'll get started. We're gonna continue playing the ball game. We are in the top of the 6th. It's Melito Perez versus Brian Harper. I did want to mention a couple of things, a couple of conversations I've been having online. One of them has to do with playing the infield in, and what if it could be a 6-2-3. A 6-2-3, let's say the infield is in with the bases loaded, right? Would it be a 6-2-3 double play? And I said, well, I mean, anything is possible. There was an earthquake in the 1989 World Series right before Game 3. So, I mean, anything can happen, right? Is it probable? No, simply because the minute you're playing the infield, if the infield is playing in, absolutely yes, you go for the 6-2-3, or if it's hit to the ground, shortstop, right? That makes sense. But if you're playing the infield back and you're allowing the run to score and you get a ground ball to the shortstop, he's got the second baseman 15 feet away, who's going to turn it and whip it to first base for the 6-4-3 double play. Why would you go home and get a 6-2-3 double play? So then ultimately the discussion led the guy to say, well, I can roll a decider die, which is a 50-50 die. And I go, no, you cannot. I mean, because it's not a 50-50 thing. The reason you're playing back is because you don't want to make that long throw. It just doesn't make sense. If you wanted to do that, you'd be playing in. And that's really ultimately what the discussion was about. So now, is it possible in some world, alternative universe, that could happen? Like I said, there was an earthquake that basically postponed the World Series in 1989 for 10 days. Anything is possible in baseball. Is it probable, which is what our game is all about, percentages and probabilities? No. Because the reason you're playing that defense is so you can go to second. The ball's hit to you at second or at short. You're going to flip it to the other guy who's standing next to you, and he's going to throw to first, and you're going to get a 6-4-3 double play, which is what the coach wants. Well, guess what? This is a conversation that went on and on and on and on. They didn't like the fact that I said no. I said no, and I continue to say no because it's no. The probability is that you go for a 6-4-3 double play with the infield halfway, the bases loaded, nobody out. You're trying to get out of the inning if that's your choice, if that's your defense. If you're trying to prevent the run, you go infield in. and you can do that. If you're kind of half and half, you can try to play the corners in. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do. We can have this conversation forever, but not in terms of what the purpose is and what the fielders are thinking mentally, what they're supposed to be doing. So anyway, that's been a conversation on a couple of forums, particularly the History Maker baseball forum. So I'm gonna have to stop the. Hold on one second.
Just want to remember. I want to mention the other day.
I'm recording. So you're on.
Ice House. Pump script. Oh, did you? I just seen it today. Yeah, well,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta keep an eye out for each other.
Yeah, that's true. Let it go.
Hey, yeah, that was my neighbor giving me some information about the neighborhood. I told him I'm live, so he's probably on there, so that's good. All right, so anyway, let's continue the game. That was a conversation. You can go to History Maker Baseball Forum. It's called play.com, I believe, and you can track down that conversation. You can become a part of it. Brian Harper, who's hit a sacrifice fly and walked. It's the pitch from Perez, and that's a 6-8. And he's a righty, so that's on the right side, the red aspect of the card. A 6-8 is ball four. So Melito walks the leadoff batter, which is not a good thing. Now we're going to have to roll for that. That's a 6. That doesn't mean anything for us. 3-7. So that's going to be off Chili Davis's card. 3-7 is a fly ball to shallow center field. In comes Roberto Kelly, and he's there. Makes the catch. So it's 1 out. Brian Harper, a base stealer. Let's check. No, he's not a base stealer, so we do not have to worry very much about that. Who else is? Who's up now? It's Pedro Munoz. Going to roll one die to see if there's a wild pitch or there is a potential wild pitch, and it's probable because it's actually 60% opportunity in a 12 or less. Melito Perez, he was known for being a little wild, so we're going to roll, and it's a wild pitch. It gets away from Matt Noakes. It bounces in front of him, rolls away, and to second is Brian Harper on a wild pitch. That's why I love Super Advanced, because guys that threw a lot of wild pitches are going to have high numbers, and they're going to throw a lot of wild pitches, and that's the cool part of this. So Harper's on at second base now. Now we're just going to roll the dice. It's a 6 to a righty, so it's a 6-5, and that's an N. Pedro Munoz has an N on both sides. He's batting righty, so it's N on the right side, and he does have it. It's a 1-4. So a 1-4 is going to be a long ball, home run to make the score 6-3. If we roll 5-20, it's driven deep to left field. Back goes Hall to the track. We'll see what happens. And Hall makes the catch at the warning track. So it's going to be an F7 if you're scoring at home. And Scott, I believe you pronounce his name Leyes. Scott Leyes. I don't believe it's Lewis, but it could be. But I've been listening to some 1990s games on YouTube. There's a couple of them on there, 1990, 1991, 1992, 1993, to just learn the pronunciations of some of these players and so on. And just to take myself back to that era and get a feel for, there's a bunch of things that they don't talk about pitch count back then. That was a conversation they did not have back then at that time. So anyway, Brian Harper takes his lead off second. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. It's a 4-3 ball game. Minnesota's up by a run, but they are threatening here with a runner in scoring position. Scott Leyes batted .249 in 400 at bats. He has very little power, hit 2 home runs. So here's the pitch. We're going to first roll one to see if it's a 7. We don't have to worry about that. And here's the pitch from Melito Perez. It's a 2-8. A 2-8 is a hard hit ball, but right at Hayes. Hayes fires across the diamond. for out number 3. Got cats and dogs and stuff, so we got hairs all over the place. All right. So after this game, I'm going to show you a couple of pickups I made. I picked up a gorgeous original 1969. I believe it's original, or is it the second generation, but early? I'm not sure. Because it has an advanced side. I know I think the first season, and I read the book and I loaned it out, and the guy never returned it. That serves me right. I read the Strat book, and it talked about the first season that Strat came out with the double-sided cards, and I believe it was 1970. So if I have a double-sided 69, it must have come out after that. They must have reprinted it at some point. I don't know. But it's not the new color version of the 1969 set. It's the one before that. So it's gorgeous, and basically I picked it up for a fair deal. The guy didn't really use it. He doesn't use it anymore. So let's see if I can fix there we go. I don't know if you can see this very well. I don't particularly like the lighting I have going on here. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. So Kevin Tapani's on the mound. It's going to be Mel Hall leading it off. Now Mel Hall is I was reading up on him yesterday, man. Oh, this guy was psychotic. Okay, Mel Hall was a psychotic human being. I mean, if you read about his time with the Yankees and the perverse relationship he had with a 15-year-old girl and her family, he moved into her family. They were a middle-class family in New York, and he basically, filled them with attention and bought them tickets and bought them memorabilia and bought her a car, and he did everything for that family and that kid. But he also moved into her bedroom in the house. Yeah, this is Mel Hall. The guy would actually go to all the Yankee parties and so on and so forth, ceremonies with this 15-year-old girl and her parents. And he had moved into, this guy's a rich guy, and he's a major league ball player. He's on TV every day, and he moved in with this girl's family and moved into her bedroom, the master bedroom. He pushed out the parents. The parents allowed it because he said he was going to marry her when she turned 18. It's a crazy story. This guy was a psychotic guy. So now when I play him, I'm like, oh man, come on, dude, what's going on here? Holy smokes! And there's plenty of pictures on the internet of the car he bought her a brand new convertible, and so forth. Just a wackadoodle character, Mel Hall. Never really a great ball player. He held his own, decent ball player, but never a great ball player. But a terrible human being, that's for sure. All right, so here's the pitch to Mel Hall from Tapani, and that's a 2-7. 2-7 is line base hit to right field for Hall, and getting it quickly is Munoz. Gets it into Donnie Hill, the second baseman. And it's Matt Noakes now. So the tying run is on base, and Mel Hall wasn't much of a base stealer. He's a D base stealer, so we're not even going to worry about that. But we are going to roll to see what's what. Oh, a 16. That's meaningless. All right, here's the pitch to Matt Noakes. Noakes is 1 for 2. He struck out and doubled. 1-3. And that's going to be a strikeout. So Noakes down swinging for the second time in this game. And next it's going to be Jesse Barfield. There's another story behind 92 Barfield. Barfield was, the guy was a well above average ball player with an amazing arm. He is a good fielder. He's still a good fielder and has a great arm. Even in his last season, the last 2 months of his career, he's playing for the Yankees, and Buck Showalter will not sit him. I don't know if he was, because you got to see that the guy's abilities are dwindling, and he won't sit him. I mean, I've had to play with a guy who's batting. This is what he batted. So this guy is batting 6 today, and this is the first game of May. So he's played the whole month of April. He's batting 137. All right. So he's killing me, this guy. He's killing me, but this is the experience. So I think Showalter was afraid of him. I mean, this was a powerful guy. This was a powerful man. And I really think that Showalter was afraid of him, and he wouldn't sit him. All right, so Jesse Barfield is up. Let's roll. Nothing there. It's a 5. Here's the pitch to Barfield. It's a 3-4. A 3-4 is a hard hit ground ball right to shortstop Gagne. Flips to Donnie Hill to Kent Herbeck. So for a 6-4-3 double play, and that ends the inning. So I'm using the iScore to keep track here, so I don't have to make chicken scratch on paper, and it keeps my stats for me. So if I'm interested in looking at stats, I can do that. All right, so it's going to be Melito Perez back on the mound against Greg Gagne, who steps in the box. Now, Gagne's, I believe, a 246 hitter in 92, so he's not much of a danger, but you never know what's going to happen. In baseball, 2-4, so it's a 2-4, and that's a ground ball to the shortstop Velarde across the diamond, one away. One out here in the top of the 7th. Next is Shane Mack, who's 2 for 3, singled twice, stole 2 bases, and grounded out. So Shane Mack is a righty. That's a 5-7. That's going to be a 1 triple, 2-20 single, so it's a split. And that's line base hit to center field for Shane Mack. That's his 3rd hit of the game. And I'm going to show you, and this is where we're going to try to steal. He's going to try to steal his 3rd base of the game. 2-7 or a 10, he gets his lead. We got to roll a 1 to make sure there's no wild pitch. Nope. And that's a 2, so he gets his lead. So we're looking at 15. Now, Melito is -5. Melito is -5, and then you have our catcher is Noakes. Noakes does not have a very good arm. He's a +3, so that makes it a -2. So from the 15, we go to a 13. We go to a 13, and then we go another -2 because we're holding him on, and that makes it an 11. So an 11, Shane Mack steals second base on an 11, right? So we're going to roll, see what happens here, and it's 12, so he's out at second base. So we're going to click on the second base out, and he's caught stealing. The next batter is a lefty, so the shortstop was covering 2-6. So that's 2 outs. So we got rid of him. That was good. And now we're going to roll 3-6. And that's off Donnie Hill's card. 3-6 is going to be line drive base hit single for Hill. And that's and they've hit a lot of singles today. That's the 9th hit allowed by Melito Perez. And Donnie Hill is not a base stealer. So it's Kirby Puckett. He's a 300 hitter for sure. 1-4, that's trouble. That is trouble. Anything like that looks like that. 1-4 is definitely trouble. I'll tell you right now. And Donnie Hill, 1-5. I don't know if I rolled for the wild pitch. I don't think I did. There's for a while. Oh, it is a potential wild pitch. Let's see what happens there. Before this roll, it's a 5. It is a wild pitch. So second wild pitch for Perez. So Donnie Hill's at second. Now that's the roll for Puckett. We're not going to change that. Now we're going to roll 1-15 is a home run. 16-20 is a triple for Kirby Puckett. And that ball is that's a cocked eye. That's a deep drive. Back goes Hall to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Kirby Puckett connects for a 2-run home run, opening up the lead for the Twins just a little bit to 6-3. But they're much more comfortable with a lead like that. So Melito Perez, he's going to get pulled now. That's going to be it for Melito Perez. Disappointing. And we're going to bring in John Havian to pitch. So John Havian is in now. He's a righty. Click on the pitcher. You look for Havian. Click on Havian. Save. Done. He's in there. So here's Kent Herbeck now. And And we're going to switch Herbeck around because he's batting from the right side. But I never, when I put in the names, I never made him a lefty batter. So I'll do that right now. Save, and now he's batting from the left side. That's a 1-9. A 1-9 is a ground ball comebacker to Habian, fields his position, and he's Yanks are out of the inning, but not before a big 2-run home run by Kirby Puckett, the Twins superstar. The Twins take a 6-3 lead. We go to the bottom half of the. Who's there? Danny Rogers. Good morning, brother. Been talking a lot of gossip, and you missed a lot of it in the early part of the broadcast. I'm not going to go over it again, but you can go back there and check it out. Just stuff that goes on in the forums and stuff and conversations and that sort of thing. And I picked up a beautiful 1969 white set. That's what my buddy calls it, a white set. He didn't want it because he says I don't play the white sets because I like the super advanced. He plays only super advanced. So he traded me, a 69 set for a 2018 set. And he was very, very happy because that's what he likes to play. So, and I was happy too because I didn't have a 69 set. And how can I not have a 69 set? I'm a Mets fan. I had 2 of them and I sold them because I said, oh man, they're going to have those for 3-4 years. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm not playing that right now. And then lo and behold, they're not available anymore as usual. So anyway, and I also got to show, I got to do an unboxing as well. I'm going to do an unboxing video, so I may do that a little bit later. Anyway, Kevin Moss, the score is 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. The 92 Yanks are down. Kevin Tapani's pitching pretty well, decently. He's given up 8 hits and 3 runs so far. He's pitching, he's past his danger point, so we got to keep track of that. His point of weakness. So in last inning, his point of weakness, 6th inning. So last inning, he gave up a single. So we have to watch out for that. Kevin Moss, he's 2 for 2, doubled twice today. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-11. A 4-11 is a ballpark single. And at Yankee Stadium, it is, for a lefty, is 1-10. And we are rolling a 14. That's line and caught by the second baseman, Donnie Hill. 1 away. Next is Charlie Hayes. He's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. It's a 3-7. That ball's driven in the gap, but it's going to get cut off quickly by Puckett, who gets it in and holds Hayes to a single. Now, if that would have gotten by him, would have been a double. Very close to being a double. Hayes is on, and it's a Randy Velarde. I don't do a lot of pinch hitting, really, unless it's for somebody like a Barfield, who was a 137 hitter. I mean, Velarde batted 272, so I'm not going to really pinch hit for him. I will roll 1 die now for the wild pitches and all that sort of stuff. That does not. It's an 18. Oh, all right. Here's the pitch from Tapani to Velarde. It's a 3-9er. A 3-9er is a strikeout. So Velarde goes down looking, and it's Andy Stankiewicz now. There's 2 outs. Stankiewicz 1 for 2. He singled flat out and walked. Here's the pitch for the roll for the wild pitch. Nothing there. Andy Stankiewicz, the pitch. It's a 4-5, so it's off the pitcher's card. A 4-5 is a ground ball third baseman B to Scott Leyes, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Picks it up, fires across the diamond for out number 3. So Kevin Tapani's looking good. Brian Harper against John Habian. Here's the pitch from Habian. It's 4-3. 4-3. That's going to be a ground ball, third baseman X. Now, third baseman, that's a 7. Our third baseman is a 2, 7. Oh, that's going to be Charlie Hayes' error rating. And Charlie Hayes' error is an E16. Let's see. Let's move all this over. An E16. And we roll the 7, E16. And that's ground ball. And Hayes handles it easily and throws out Harper. There was never a doubt that Charlie Hayes would make that play. Never a doubt. Not in my mind. Chili Davis with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Twins in New York. Twins are up 6-3. 3-6. 3-6 is ball 4. So Hayes manages a walk off of John Habian. Now Habian went on to work in Long Island at a high school, and he did some videos on pitching mechanics, and I really like that stuff. Pedro Munoz, who's 1 for 3, he's grounded out, singled, and flied out. Chili Davis on at first. We roll for a wild pitch, nothing. And it's going to be a 2-8. A 2-8 is a strikeout. So Munoz goes after the high heat. He fans. John Habian blows it by him. And it's Scott Leyes. We roll again for the wild pitch, balk, whatever. Oh, it's a potential balk, pass ball. 1, 2, 3 is a balk. It's a 5, so it's going to be a potential. Matt Noakes did not have a lot of pass balls. His pass ball rating is a 1, so unless we roll a 1, there'll be no pass ball. We don't. So here goes. Scott Leyes, 1-4. That's going to be a strikeout. So Habian strikes out a couple. And we move to the bottom of the 8th inning in New York. Kevin Tapani against Don Mattingly. Kevin Tapani against Don Mattingly. Let's try to angle this a little bit better. There we go. I don't know if that's... All right. It still doesn't seem to be angled right. Anyway, okay. So let's do that. Kevin Tapani is going to be facing Donnie Mattingly. Here's the pitch. Mattingly's 1 for 3 on the day. That's a 4-8. A 4-8 is a split die 1-5 double or a single. It's line base hit, cut off quickly, and that keeps Mattingly at first base. So Mattingly gets his second hit of the game. And that's 10 hits for Tapani. And we're going to look over here at the – going to check the box score, see who played, who was available, and so on. I picked up a couple of big card sets, an 88 and a 93. 93 for this and an 88 for when I play the Mets and all that. And 80. I'm doing an APA replay just for the sake of it. It's those games take me like 15 minutes each. They're not very detailed, but it takes me back to another. It's nostalgia. It's all about the nostalgia, you know. So who pitched here for the – oh, Guthrie comes in. And, okay, we're going to bring in Guthrie. Let's see. If we have to go – well, I don't know. I don't know that Guthrie is their closer. Let me see if it is. I don't know if I want to bring in a closer. 6-3. Yeah, I could bring in a closer. Why not? Let's see. No outs in the bottom of the 8th. Closers during this time will go 2 innings. He had 6 saves, so I'm going to bring in Guthrie. It works. It's realistic enough, considering I'm playing baseball on a tabletop. Realistic enough. Guthrie. I'm going to have to write him in, so I click on the pitcher spot. And as I go, I write guys in. I do the whole starting lineup, but then after that, depending on how, who I bring in and so on. Guthrie's a lefty. Oh, he's a lefty. Throws left. Okay, that's interesting. So I highlight Guthrie's save. So Guthrie's in there now. This is iScore. It's a free app. So Mattingly's on at first. Roberto Kelly, who's 1 for 3, he singled early in the game, and he's grounded out twice. Now Kelly batted .272, 600 bats almost, 10 home runs. Not very impressive, but he did have 28 steals and was only caught 5 times. So that's pretty good. So here's Kelly, Roberto Kelly. We're going to roll for the wild pitch, and there's nothing there. Here is the pitch to Kelly from Mark Guthrie, the left-hander. And that's going to be a 4-9er, and that's a strikeout. So Kelly down swinging, curveball, got him. Mel Hall, lefty versus lefty now. We're going to roll for the wild pitch, ball, so on. Nothing. And here's the pitch from Guthrie to Mel Hall. Mel Hall's 1 for 3. I went off on what Mel Hall. I mean, he's a psychotic character. He's in jail right now, by the way, for 45 years. For sexual crimes and so on against minors. Mind bending. The guy was definitely off the wall. You got to read the story. If you go back and you watch it from the beginning, I tell the story. All right, 2-11. So against a right-handed pitcher, nope, it's a lefty. So it's 2-11. It's going to be a line and caught by Greg Gagne, positioned perfectly for that line drive. I mean, Mel Hall hit it on the screws, went the other way with that outside pitch, but right at Greg Gagne. Was looking over at his partner, Donnie Hill, smiling, just right at the right place to catch that bullet off the bat of Mel Hall. So there's 2 outs now. Mattingly's on at first. We're going to roll for the wild pitch from Guthrie, nothing. And up is Matt Noakes. Noakes, 1 for 3, struck out, doubled, and struck out again. That's going to be a 4. A 4-3 is a ground ball third baseman X. And I think Leis is a 2 from what I remember. I kind of look at them and I memorize them before the game starts. Yeah, that's a 2. So we're going to roll here, and that's a 12, third baseman. Third baseman, 12, and that's going to be off of Leis's card, his error at E21. Oh, no, we're going to do these 2. E21. E21 is a 9er. A 9er is going to be ground ball right at Leis, picks it up, fires to second for the force, and that retires the side. All right, we go to the top of the 9th now. John Havian is still in there. He's got an inning and so forth, and he pitched in doesn't say how many games he was in. Pitched 72 innings. So I guess he'll stay in there. I don't worry about that right now. And that's a 4-5. So against Gagne, 4-5 is a strikeout. 1 out for Havian. Shane Mack, who's 3 for 4. That's a 6, off of Havian's card. Mack is a righty, 6-9er, and that's a strikeout. So Shane Mack goes fishing, overly aggressive on that outside pitch. And it's Donnie Hill. He's a switch hitter. He's 2 for 4. He's singled twice. Donnie Hill is a switch hitter, so I got to put that in there. So I'm going to click on him again, and it says bats both. Boom. So now he should switch, and he does. He's batting lefty versus Havian. I do this as I learn the players. This is the first game I'm playing with Minnesota in my 92 replay. So Donnie Hill steps in the box from the left side. Here's the pitch from Havian. It's a 2-9er. A 2-9er is a ground ball comebacker to Havian. Nice stab. Throws to Mattingly for out number 3. Nice play by Havian to get the 3rd out. And Havian goes 2 1/3 inning. A very successful 2 1/3, relieving Melito Perez. That was knocked around a bit early and then came into his own, and then again it gave up a 2-run shot in the top of the 7th inning. Havian came in to get that 3rd out and then hung around for another 2 innings. That's the nice thing about playing earlier seasons. You do that sort of thing. You don't have to make so many pitching changes. That's why I try to avoid the newer seasons. All right, so anyway, Mark Guthrie against Jesse Barfield. Again, Jesse Barfield is my nightmare, but he will be out very, very soon. This is his last season, and, I mean, he batted 137 with 2 home runs in 100 at-bats. So proportionally, in 500 at-bats, let's say he would have had 10 home runs. So this is a guy with some monstrous power. This was a guy who to be reckoned with at the plate in terms of hitting home runs for many, many years. But basically, his skills have markedly deteriorated, and that's all I can say. Jesse Barfield leading it off. Easy out. 6-11. 6-11. Fly ball right field X. Munoz is a 4 out there. He is a 4, so this may give Barfield an opportunity to get a hit. We'll see what happens. 17. A 4-17 is a ball that Munoz runs down in right towards the line, and he gets there, makes the catch. Nice catch by Pedro Munoz, not much of a fielder. Kevin Moss is 2 for 3. Kevin Moss on the season, You click on his name, and it'll tell you how he's doing on this. He's batting 324, 12 hits, and 37 at bats. Yep, he's got 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. This is about 1 month into the Yankees season. Kevin Moss. So iScore does everything for you, and that's the thing I love about it. So here's the pitch to Kevin Moss from Mark Guthrie, lefty versus lefty. And that's going to be a 3. A 3-7, and that's going to be ground ball second base. Easy pickings, 2 away. And it's Charlie Hayes. Pitch to Charlie Hayes. That's a 2-6er. That's popped up on the left side. Gagne calls everybody off, makes the catch, and that's the ball game, folks. That is the ball game. The Yanks lose the first game of a 3-game set. And I will show you the set right now real quickly. The 69 set I was able to get. I traded for, which is great. I found a local gamer. We're going to get together. We're gonna roll a couple of games together, which is going to be a blast. He really loves Strat. He won't play anything else. You know me. I play a little bit of everything. Mark Guthrie is going to pick up a save in this one. Kevin Tapani picks up the win. Melito Perez takes the loss for the Yanks. And I'll tell you what the Yankees' record is right now. Depressing, yes, I admit it. They're 11 wins, 11 losses. They were actually, I'm not doing too bad because they were 10 games below 500 in their 1992 season. So I'm holding my own here as a manager, much better than I did with the 79 Mets using payoff pitch. Where they still have 3 more weeks of the season I got to finish. So I got to get back to that, and I will. I will get back to that for sure. So anyway, let me show you what I picked up. Let me show you the the Padres. Okay, so this is what I got. These are really nice, kept really nice, in nice shape, and I hope you can see these. I'll try to get them up to the camera. I don't know, I see the light is terrible because I have my garage door open. I don't know if you can see these. There it is. All right, this looks a little bit better there. Al Santorini. He's with the San Diego Padres, 1969. Now this comes with all the extra players. These are pretty cool. I don't know if these are originals from 1969 or they were reprinted in like the 1980s. I'm not totally sure. They're probably reprints, but as you can see, I don't know any of these players very well. John Sippen, Canizaro, Van Kelly, Ed Spezia. This is a little bit before my time, about 10 years before my time. But the reason I wanted these is I want to replay the 69 Mets. I always, because I want to see Seaver pitch again. I want to visualize Seaver pitching. There's Hank Aaron. Let me look at the Roberto Clemente. How cool is that? Look at that. Let me pull Roberto Clemente out. So these are really nicely protected. I traded my, hey there. I traded my 2018 set. Well, I got a friend too. I picked it up off a friend very cheap. Fair price. Here's Roberto Clemente's card. I would use this side against lefties, against righties. Okay. I got some advanced information. I don't have the stolen base stuff. Don't have the stolen base stuff, which Super Advanced gives you. This just gives me more specific fielding information, which I like. Running is 1 to 15, and I can subtract the catcher and the hold rating and all that stuff if necessary. So this is Roberto Clemente's card. He batted, had 19 homers, 345 average, 73 strikeouts. Great. So this is beautiful, man. I'm going to get to play with Roberto Clemente against the Mets. This is going to be exciting. I'm going to start one of these pretty soon as well. The winter comes now, and I do a lot of rolling in the winter. I'm looking for my Mets. Here they are. 1969 Mets. This I traded the 2018 set for this set right here. So I'm very happy. I'm going to play these for sure. 69. This was the year, the actually anniversary, the Mets anniversary. I don't know. Somebody's written this guy's name in there. Oh, he created a card for this guy right here. Jack Delano. Or DeLauro. Jack DeLauro. He did all the stats for him. That's cool. I like that. I can actually print out a card for him. So if I need anybody, I will print out cards. Let's see. Wait a second. Cal Coons. Cal Coons is there. Who else? Don Cardwell. Gary Gentry. Love this. Ron Taylor. These are the guys that nobody really knew about, right? Or the less popular guys. Here you got Tommy Seaver. Look at that. Boom. Oh, man. Tommy Seaver was a monster. He was 25-7 with a 2.21 ERA, 273 innings pitched, 200 hits allowed, 24 home runs allowed. What is that? That's 8 home runs every 100 innings pitched. Tommy Seaver. Love this card. I'm going to put him in. I'm going to protect him right now. That's how I feel about him. All right. He was a monster, dude. This guy, and I got to protect him forever. There you go. So I'm going to get buried with the Tommy Seaver card. 69 Strat Tommy Seaver card. There's going to be, who else do I get here? Al Weiss, Ed Charles, Jerry Grody, Ron Swoboda, Ed Kranepool. Oh, my God. He made a card for Duffy Dyer. I don't know why. I thought Duffy Dyer was carded in this set. He had 74 at-bats, I think. Let me see. Yeah, he had 74 at-bats. Huh. I don't know. There may have been a card or two missing. Who knows? It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Nolan Ryan, what? Nolan Ryan was 6-3 with 3.54 ERA. He pitched 89 innings pitched. Nolan Ryan, E16. Made some errors. So anyway, I picked this up for, I traded this for the 2018 set. And it's got pretty much all the extra players. So I'm very excited. I'm going to start playing this for sure. And that's it. I got to do an unpacking in a little while. I'll do an unpacking video, and I'll play probably another video later on today. So this is CP Cards and Dice. Let me get my my closing credits music going here. Let's see. Right. This is CP Cards and Dice signing off. We played another Yankee 92 Yankee game, a May 1st game versus the Twins. The Twins are in town for 3 games versus the Yankees, and then the Yanks go away on a long road trip. But 92 is a weird year for me to play, and there's a story behind it. Basically, it's about coming back to die rolling after moving away for a couple of years. I stopped doing it, and I bought an APA season in '93, and it was the '92 season. And that's the year, basically, my wife and I took a trip, and we were in the middle of nowhere, and we started rolling some dice. And that was a great time, a great memory for me. So I'm playing the 1992 season for that. And it was right before the dynasty, the Yankee dynasty. So I just want to know a little bit more about that period where the Yankees weren't so well known. You know, they didn't have the O'Neills and the Marianos and the Jeters and all those players that later came to be very, very well known and be in a lot of playoffs and World Series. This is right before that, so I wanted to do that. So this is CP, Cards and Dice. I hope it was interesting to you, and I'll see you soon. Keep rolling. Keep having a good time with our hobby. Take care, guys.